Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. This time is with the Hasbro Lightning Collection Power Rangers White Ranger. Uh, I was completely debating on whether or not I should be buying very few of this line or every single one of them. And after getting a chance to play with 2 out of the 4 from the first wave and seeing them in hand, gotta say, I'm going to probably get them all. If they are anything similar to what we have going on, or if they're just one of those things where the first couple waves kind of set the bar for them, I can honestly say I am super duper excited for where this is going. I can't even try to begin the front. Like, this is one of those things where I am really happy with what we got. So let's talk about that. You know, let's remove this for a second, and we got to say, like, the only thing that I can say that's, and this is to me, this is a minor gripe even for me, but the only thing I can say that I really don't enjoy is the simple fact that he looks like he doesn't really have a neck. Meanwhile, and I'll get into that in a second. Meanwhile, with another figure in line, it looks like the neck is way more visible, but that's a minor thing. Otherwise, I think where they've nailed it with this line is pretty dope. They've pretty much covered all the bases. You have accessories, you have unmasked heads, and you get the bang for your buck for $20. Gotta say it. This is easily the best thing to happen to Power Rangers on the US side in a very long time. We're getting figures that scale well, that have articulation, and that just look phenomenal. One thing I do worry about, and this is actually a thing, is that overall paint apps. Some people are going to have issues as paint apps will vary piece to piece. So please be careful. Or if you can just fix it yourself, go ahead, because these are still $20 figures, and I just don't think that's something I can really complain about. But yeah, the Hasbro paint apps are going to be hit or miss for some people. But yeah, let's jump into the cool thing, which is articulation. I'm actually really excited. So let's go over the head. Let's go over the top. Head can look up, can look down. It is expressive. You can tilt it just a little bit side to side. My paint apps are pretty decent. Missing a little bit of black paint at the top. Not an issue. Could fill it in with a black pen. One thing I do want to say is that the vest is soft, so you don't have to worry about breaking anything on that, which is a lot of fun. It's one of those, I don't have to worry about these things. It won't get in the way of articulation. It won't get in the way of the figure. You can see here, look, just, this is a genius idea. And I never would have thought of that in a million years, and I really like that. The ab crunch is actually phenomenal. As you can see, it can bend all the way down. You can go backwards. It tilts left and right. So, you can get your martial arts kicks on. There are butterfly joints inside. So, you can actually flex on them if you want to get brawled up with everybody. Do you see all? Let's see all, get all of that on. You can get your real nostalgia on. Also, the arms are double jointed. So you can actually do kitty cat arms. Look cute for everybody. You can yawn, you can stretch out. Like, oh man, I'm so tired. Yeah, you can do all of that. And this is really cool. This is one of those things that I'm really, really, really enjoying. The legs can actually go up. They don't go far back because they are butt cheeks molded. So please be careful. Your booty game is going to be up there, but you won't be able to put the legs going back. But you will be able to go up. There will be calf swivel. There's very generous, if not crazy, ankle pivot. The foot can come up a little bit and it can go back. But I'm going to have to heat this up because mine is on there really, really tight. And I just don't want to break anything. Because hunting this down was a true pain. So I'm just going to have to be really careful. Oops. And I got some white paint smudging all over everything. And that's one thing I'm actually going to have to be really, really careful with, is with this white paint. So I got to be really careful. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to wipe it down, because I probably have a ton of coconut oil on, so I ain't actually on camera. But that's probably just me. Yeah. But yeah, this is one of those figures where I am extremely happy already with it. You're getting the bang for your buck, which is $20, and I really need to be careful with that calf. That ankle pivot, because that's serious there. Like, mine's on tight. There's thigh swivel as well, which is very, very nice. But now let's get into the part you want to see most. You want to see the posing, right? So let's get into some posing. Let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, things you may or may not like. And the thing about that is, I just don't think there's anything I really dislike about this. You know what I mean? Look at this. Like, I can get really cool poses off the bat. Like, voila. You can get your Tiger Strike pose. Oop. So my arm's a little, oh, there we go. My arm is a little loose, but I think that's just me. I've been playing with this thing all day. So you can get a Tiger Strike pose. You can get our Actually, let's see if we can get it. Let's put this arm down. Let's go forward. Let's rotate this peg in. Yep. We can actually get really nice poses here. This is something that's really nice. Let's see about our flying kicks, though. See, this one thing is where you won't be able to rotate the head very much, but you can get your flying kicks. And something fell, but I just don't know what it is yet. But I'll figure it out. So you get your flying kicks. You can actually get down on one knee very easily. And this double jointed knee is actually very, very nice. It's going to be very generous to us. I almost broke my leg just now, so I got to keep that careful. So these joints are actually going to be very tight here in the ankles. I'm having some issues with that. But my issue is because it's probably I didn't heat it up enough. I'll get into that in a second. But overall, these poses are phenomenal. And I can't actually say there's anything that I've pretty much disliked on it. And that would be a lie if I did say there was something I disliked. So with that being said, gotta say, this is clearly going to be one of those lines that are going to be setting the bar on the American side for what is going to become Power Rangers. And I think that's really dope. This is probably going to start a very new era, which in my case is a very good thing. I think that we need this. We need some affordable Power Ranger stuff to let people know that we actually still care about this line. And not just the nostalgia factor, but the new guys too. I think everybody deserves some love. But with that being said, let's go into the other accessories. Now you're going to get other hands. You're going to get one hand folding Saba, the talking saber. And you're going to get one martial arts palm. And I'm going to swap these in just so we can get cool with it. As we wiggle these out. And these are on peg joints, kind of like how Figma's are. And just swapping normal Marvel Legends hands. And these are on some pretty strong pegs that I've played with off camera. We're going to play with a little bit on camera as well. So, you know. So one thing I want to say about the arm is that you actually get, even though mine's a little loose, you actually get a lot of leeway with that. Because I think there's just tons of room. So you get Saba, right? And Saba comes already extended. And what's cool about that, unlike the SHF, you can actually just put him in without any issues. So he holds up very well inside being in his carrier form, as well as just overall. So yeah, you can get your key palm on. You could get your Dragon Ball on. You can actually do high fives even if you wanted to. Or wave hi to somebody. These are things like being expressive and having fun is definitely going to be a plus in the Power Rangers Lightning Collection stuff. I think that this line is pretty much going to be a definitive for all those who couldn't finish Sentai teams for SHF, for all of those who couldn't even get into the SHF stuff. Always thought they were too small scale-wise. I don't think any of that kind of stuff is going to be a problem anymore or ever again. So let's see if we can pose him up. So yeah, balance test, everything is just a plus. This looks phenomenal. And I know I'm yapping on and going on about this, but I can't say this enough is that this line is going to be a banger. It's an A+ in my book. You get $20 and you get a simple figure that can do everything that you wanted in Power Rangers. One thing I want to add about it is that they also look like people in suits. And I think that that's what Hasbro does a great job of doing. Whereas the Bandai of America stuff pretty much kind of gave you these bulky American, oh, look at me, I'm super buff. I hated that. I hated those so much. But let's also get into the unmasked head. So this is actually pretty cool because this was a digital print tech. And I don't really care for Tommy, but I know a lot of other people do. And I got to say that honestly looks like him. It is a very still soft scope of digital print, but it still does look like him. With some paint, it would look perfect. I don't really care for unmasked head for characters I don't care for, but I will say this does look good, especially for a $20 print. You can fix it up with some paint, and I think you'll be absolutely fine. But it looks well proportioned on his body, considering these guys with their helmets off always look out of proportion. But he actually does it very well here. So let's fix that. So as you can see, with the helmet off, it looks like he has a neck. But helmet on, this look a little different. But this is looking good. Definitely looking good. A little bit long, but definitely looking good. One thing I want to add is that you also get an effect part, which I didn't expect it to have. You can add it at the end of Saba for when you are doing stuff. There's going to be a slit inside Saba. And voila. Maybe you can deflect bullets or laser blasts or even, shoot your own. It's Power Rangers. You never know what kind of new power you can obtain soon. Right? So all in all, I like where this is going. I like the design overall of the line. I like that it looked like people in Sentai suits or the people in general. I like that they add the bonus unmasked heads. Everything about this is just we looked into this and we kind of giving you the best of the Japanese stuff and the best of the American stuff and just going to give it to you. Like X, just give it to you. So if Hasbro continues down this line, I am all in. I definitely like where this is going. But in that though, let's do some sizing up. So real quick, this is him next to his SHF counterpart. I'm actually going to fix these legs a little bit so we don't scour the height a little too much. And as we can see, there's a huge height difference here. The SHF stuff is just, for Sentai, it died down. So there was no fixing them or getting better about this. They just stayed minuscule and skinny and lanky, which I don't have a problem with because it is very much closer to his Japanese spandex counterpart. But when you look at what the Kamen Rider line has done, and you look at what Sentai pretty much stopped at, it's a bummer to see that happen. But I'm going to have to say goodbye to you because you don't mean anything now that this guy is here. This is definitely A+ material. Now, when you look at it next to the Kamen Rider stuff, especially the Renewal line, the Shinkoku Seiho, they look really good. He's a little bit bigger. These actually scale a little bit better. Even though he's still bigger than the Kamen Rider, he still looks and scales better with him. And then even if you don't add the Renewal stuff, you just add a regular Kamen Rider, the White Ranger still looks really good with these guys. You know what I mean? So the Hasbro stuff fits in with Japanese stuff as well. And again, this is why I said that it looks like it's going to be the best of both. If you still want to collect both, it's going to be a great thing. If you don't, that's also okay too. It'll go just well with your Hasbro stuff. Next up, here he is with another Hasbro one, which is Spider-Man. And I think that actually scales really well. Tommy's supposed to be a teenager. Spider-Man's supposed to be an adult. If he's a little bit taller than the guy in a superpower suit, hey, I'm not knocking it. You know what I mean? These two actually look really good together. Next up, here is next to Storm Collectibles. Storm Collectibles Scorpion. So the Storm Collectibles stuff is really much closer to 1/10 scale, but it does work very well with the Hasbro stuff. He's not gigantic over him, but if they were people from two different universes, I think it would work out pretty well, especially in Force perspective. Here we are. For those of you that are going to do your Justice League Power Rangers crossover, that has happened before. Here he is with a Batman from Mafex. These guys actually scale really well here together. They're not too big, not too small. It works out just fine. I think it actually is. I don't mind Batman being a little bit taller. For those of you that play the mobile game stuff, here he is with Ryu, in case you want to get your crossover on. And this is the SHF one. If you want to compare him to the Storm Collectibles one, you just compare him a little bit to the Scorpion and scale it up a little bit. Overall, I think these two work really well together, actually. The SHF with the Hasbro one. Here he is with Mythic Legions. When you want some baddies or you just want to go back in time and do a time travel episode. Totally looks good with an orc. Here he is with a 1/12 scale synthetic human. Actually, scratch that because my human just fell at the torso. So I'll use an Articulated Icons Ninja. I'll probably just do it in some pictures because I don't want to stop to pick them up. So actually, he scales really good with the 1/12 scale ninjas. So if you have a ton of ninjas, your Power Rangers can now fight ninjas, which I think is a definite plus. So now we're going to do a 1/12 scale synthetic human, now that I was able to grab him while talking. And this guy is probably going to be the same as the Articulated Icons Ninja. Yep, they look pretty good together. Last but not least, you want to do a Mezco, and I'm going to do Mezco Blade. Again, the Lightning Collection looks like it's going to be the new definitive line, as it works a little bit better in scale with just about everything. One thing I do want to add is that because I have another one I can actually show you. Here he is next to someone else from the Lightning Collection, which is the Shadow Ranger. And he's actually a little bigger because he's considered an extra ranger. And he looks really good next to him as well. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it informative. But most of all, guys, hope you do good, be good, drink your water. Later. Hey, guys, one of the things I forgot to cover because I was way too excited is, yes, Marvel Legends Head technically can fit on it, but they are a bit too big because of the scale. So if you ever had a Marvel Legends Head that was too small, this may be the time that it actually works for it. But other than that, the answer is yes. Technically, yes. But as you can see, Frank Castle's head is a little too big for this.